чтобы побольше людей могло как поранить на марафоне и показать свои игры, но на него будет направлено минимум поддержки, и основные силы будут направлены на спасение основного стрима. Если все помнят, как он шел в том году.
At 69,000, Save the Animals is at about 64,000. So donate towards those if you want the animals to be saved or killed. $100 anonymous donation that says, "Thank you so much for organizing this event." All right, looks like we are ready to go with The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX.
Ну и мы, собственно, возвращаемся. Нас ждет гонка между Bamboo Shadow и TGH в игре Легенда о Зельде Link's Awakening DX. И почему-то игру от нас опять убрали. Алло. Мы хотим игру. Два парня чешут свою бороду. Нет, у медведя бороды нет, не чеши. А, у них небольшая какая-то проблема.
Got a $10 donation from Code Naga that says, "Go beat the four-tone grayscale Legend of the Windfish." All right, here we go with Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
Ну и, собственно, вроде как возвращаемся. Вроде как. Да, звук игры я уже слышу. Ну и да, игра началась. Это игра для геймбоя. Для геймбоя и для Game Boy Color.
Hello everyone, welcome to The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX. No save and quit, no wrong warp, no out of bounds race between TGH and...
В общем, эта гонка будет проходить без каких-то мажорных багов, мажорных багаюзов, то есть это будет не out of bounds, без скролл-лока, без WW. В общем, это будет, скажем так, более-менее чистая гонка. Минимальным количеством багаюза.
But without further dudes, TGH will give us the hand countdown and we'll count it down for you guys. So we'll be starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Пошел отчет, и игра запустилась. Фрейм в фрейм буквально они запустились.
Alright, this is Link's Awakening DX. I'm Zorlak7.
I'm Sikinar.
And I am Kransoon.
So, would someone like to explain the category that we're doing today?
Sure, yeah. So, this is no save quit, wrong warp, out of bounds. Just three...
Wrong warp называется WW.
We can't exploit saving and quitting to do some fast traveling. We can't do what's out of bounds, which in this context is transitioning screens in places you couldn't normally walk. And then wrong warping is, for example, going through a door and having it send you to like a totally different place that's not intended. But barring those things, pretty much the rest of it is just kind of like do what you can to, beat the game.
Yeah, we're not allowing the biggest glitch, which is saving and quitting. Huge glitch.
It's a glitch.
So both players are going to get quick sword, but I could have told you that.
Довольно быстро они взяли первый меч, оба почти одновременно, чуть-чуть опережает TGH. Играют они в японскую версию, потому что текст в ней скроллится быстрее.
Damage boosted into the sword, so they were able to pick it up before the owl came down and began talking to them. It's not a massive time saver, but it does save some.
То, что мы сейчас увидели, они задэмэдж-бустились в то место, где должен быть меч, и таким образом они сохранили не особо большое количество времени, но при этом они могли не ждать, пока к ним спустится сова, и поговорить с ними.
So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be going
the tail key.
Tail key. Yeah, I ran this game for 3 years. I know what's
all
going
coming
on.
Back. Yeah.
Little by little.
I guess since I don't know what's going on, can someone explain what Moblin boost is and
Moblin skips. This forest has like a pretty long little puzzle you have to do, which it is the first major sequence break in the game. We're gonna do a cool damage boost across a pit that brings us to
У нас здесь будет очень крутой damage boost.
And lets us get the dungeon 1 key. You're gonna see it after they go through a little cave here. It looks pretty quick. Basically, there's gonna be a moblin, and we're gonna manipulate his movement. It's a little RNG depending on what the Moblin's movement will do, so it may take 1 or 2 attempts.
And both players just picked up 50 rupees. That spin that they both did, it's y-axis pixel perfect. So if you step one more forward, you're gonna fall into the pit.
Они сейчас с помощью Pixel Perfect трюка сделали такую вещь, что они немного быстрее подняли 50 рупиев. У обоих получился трюк, довольно неплохо. Немножечко, чуть-чуть запоролся Bamboo Shadow.
I guess it's called owl skip. I'm calling it owl skip now. It's hard to explain, but basically they saved on the same, like 1 frame after they opened the chest, which allows us to skip that cutscene with the owl.
Опять не пропускают кат-сцену с совой.
Cannot go back to that screen ever again.
Nope.
Or else the owl will talk to them.
Because of a cool, like even more subtle glitch later on, we don't have to. So.
Yeah.
But they might accidentally go back there.
Yeah, who knows?
Just take a 5-screen detour.
The scenic route, as they say.
And also for context on Moblin Skip, and one of the reasons why it's really good for the race that they got it so quickly, that trick is a huge reset point in PB attempts, and it's not uncommon in races to start.
Точка, на которой у них получился этот трюк, довольно часто заставляет руинить ран на попытках PB, то есть персонального личного рекорда. Видели, там стоял Йоши, типа отсылочка, хах, Nintendo.
So the players are going to be stealing from the shop. They're going to be stealing the shovel and then later on the bow.
Они воруют лопаты, не покупают их.
We're going to deal with it. So this is kind of intentional. This is a gameplay mechanic that's part of the run. Dying here is okay. Dying in other places is a lot less okay.
Здесь умирать еще норм.
They're going to use the save and quit menu to buy these bombs because it's faster than going through the text. They need tons of bombs to do bomb trigger glitches later on.
Большое количество бомб им нужно для того, чтобы сделать бомб-глич, скажем так, и воруют лук.
Because the bow costs 980 rupees, that's just too much. The bow does a lot of damage, especially early on.
Но лук делает большое количество дамага, но так как он стоит 980 рупиев, мы его купить себе не можем позволить.
So on the way there, you're going to see they're going to be making some semi-arbitrary kills here on these Octoroks. And what they're doing is they're incrementing a kill count that is going to manipulate a particular item drop later on in the game that gives them, extra speed and damage. So that's all. If you see them kill anything, they're keeping a count the whole time. It's a funny little way. You actually don't have to use the keyhole to open that. You can just clip into the side.
The frames, man. Yeah. So this is dungeon 1. It's super easy. No one makes any
Первый данж очень простой.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about it.
And it also has the absolute.
Но Bamboo Shadow умудряется рипнуться.
Yeah. No one's lost the run to Molten.
No.
So yeah, but for real though, this dungeon, every dungeon has a dungeon item. This one specifically having one of the more broken items, which is cool because right from the get-go we can do some pretty cool little tricks.
Мы увидим серию маленьких трюков, но очень крутых.
Which allows you to do something that up until this point had never been seen, well, barring Zelda 2, had never been seen in the Zelda's franchise.
It's not like we just saw Zelda 2.
No, we didn't just see that. It allows you to jump, which in a lot of ways this game is very similar to A Link to the Past in the overhead perspective and a lot of the items, but Rock's Feather puts a much more heavy emphasis on diagonal movement, whereas with Link to the Past, for example, it's all about very quick horizontal movement using the boots. And so you'll notice that anytime the runners move diagonally, they're going to be jumping most of the time.
Also,
Они передвигаются по диагонали прыжками, что позволяет преодолевать большее расстояние за то же самое время.
They're super.
Yeah, they're super, and they are a huge factor in the current route. They allow for the majority of the sequence breaks we do.
So we have boss 1 on TGH's screen. Moldorm takes 4 hits to kill, and he's very difficult. He's going to try to jump over him and hit his...
Босс на экране TGH 4 удара, но убивается он очень сложно. Но TGH справляется великолепнейше.
The thing is that he can clink against you if he decides to not really expose his tail very
And
well.
that was a good fight by Bamboo too.
Yeah, both.
Бамбу
really good.
тоже довольно неплохо справился с
Both
ним.
players demonstrating top skill in this game.
Yeah.
And
Оба
they're
раннера
very close,
демонстрируют
even at
топ-скилл
this point in the run.
в этой игре.
There's a lot of things that can go
О,
wrong
теперь они
with this
решают
run,
поиграть на
especially
скрипке,
towards the
почему
end.
бы и нет.
So even if you see one runner 10, 20 seconds ahead, a minute ahead, that nothing is decided until the final boss is dead. So just trust us on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not uncommon in PB attempts to have if you use the graph for your comparison against PB, it's not uncommon to be very far ahead and then just see a huge spike up into being behind your personal best on the very last split because the final boss is so random.
Also, shoutouts to Bubba and Tubbs on TGH's stream.
Yeah. Those children have these weirdly large hitboxes. It's common to get snagged on them.
And if you run into an NPC hitbox, you can't really move. So those guys are called Bubba and Tubbs.
And you'll see here, TJH, he's gonna make a large amount of his kills on his kill route on the way here, just because there's so many free moblins and slimes.
And one of the things about
Он убивает очень много противников TGH у нас на правом экране, потому что типа их довольно просто убить, и они стоят буквально на каждом проходе.
You want to kill a certain number of enemies, but you want to do it in a way that doesn't waste time. Obviously, you don't want to have to stop and kill certain enemies.
Суть в том, что вы хотите убивать как можно больше противников, но вы хотите делать это так, чтобы это не отнимало у вас лишнее время.
And also, both of them getting really good moblin caves. I think Bamboo got a triple. I think TGH also got a triple.
He got a double-double.
Oh, we got a double-double. Nice.
But the double-double was really far apart. That's why I said, ooh.
So this is Bow Wow. This little dog guy. He is going to be our companion for the rest of the run. In older routes, we used to return him, but these days it's faster to keep him. For better or worse, he is a strong asset in a lot of respects, and also probably our worst enemy.
Бау-бау, вот эта вот штука, кусающаяся собачка на цепи, ее нужно сохранить как можно дольше, вносит своего импакта. Он кушает цветочки, которые блокируют нам проход в данж. У TGH получился инста-ит, то есть цветочек был съеден очень резко. Это обычно не случается, это довольно редко.
Basically, he's going to move, I think, 25% faster and deal about twice as much damage with an added knockback effect, which is pretty impressive.
TGH скушал пауэрап, который позволяет ему двигаться на 25% быстрее и наносить больше урона.
Traps don't count, so falling into a pit doesn't count, spikes don't count. Also, you get to keep it for the duration. It doesn't have a time limit. It just runs out if you exit a dungeon or exit a major area. So they're going to be keeping it for the entire dungeon if they can, and that really speeds up the gameplay. So they're expecting at least 3 POPs, pieces of power, and it saves about, what, 45 seconds, 50 seconds over the course of a run?
Yeah, throughout the whole run. Yeah,
Собственно, этот пауэрап нужно было дотащить до конца данжа, потому что он заметно облегчает жизнь. Мы встретим таких пауэрапов 3. POP они называются, типа фрагменты силы.
Yeah, the screen just checks to see if the ghosts are present, and then if they're not there, they'll spawn the chest.
Also, I'm noticing that, yeah, POP also increases your item pickup rate.
Shoutouts to item pickup rate.
Which is a key factor when you want to save those frames.
POP также увеличивает область, в которой вы поднимаете предметы.
It's like frames faster per bot.
It's so many frames.
It's so significant that we didn't even notice it until last year.
Yeah.
И причем оказалось, что это очень важная штука, но заметили это только в этом году. Вернее, в предыдущем. Отвратительный RNG сейчас был у Бамбу. Прям проблема у него. TGH уже убивает следующего босса.
Wait for the genie to shoot 8 fireballs, and then he's going to wall clip into a wall, so he's just going to move into it a little bit. Throw the the bottle while he's clipped into the wall. That'll break the bottle in one go. He's going to lay a bomb and shoot a bomb arrow directly after, killing him instantaneously.
Он ждет, пока Джин выпустит 8 шаров, потом загоняет его в бутылку, бросает ее в определенную точку. И, собственно, таким макаром его станлочит и убивает его моментально. Посмотрим, получится ли это уже у Бамбу Шэдоу. Да, получалось. Только он рипнулся сам, потому что... Он получил очень много урона в той комнате, где у него был плохой RNG, и...
This is a really cool backup that Bamboo's doing. That's really not something you would see except for like high-level play, because he just has knowledge of the layout of that dungeon.
Но он использует некую бэкап-страту, которую вы обычно не увидите при ране.
TGH is going to be entering Dungeon 3. He's going to be doing something called Villa Skip. So we're going to explain it right now. So Villa Skip is the holes in the game, so potholes or whatever you want to call them. They have a very interesting property that if you pause on the same frame you fall into it, the game kind of thinks you're on solid ground and it moves you down a pixel. So he's going to slash this bush, which has a hole under it. He's going to pause until...
Видим, что отличается, скажем так, прохождение, потому что, опять же, Bamboo Shadow использовал довольно необычную бэкап-страту для того, чтобы вернуться к тому боссу, который его убил, быстрее, чем это делается обычно. Поднимает золотой цветок, который, по сути, является ключом к третьему данжу.
And that just kind of messes with the sprite and the...
Bamboo Shadow все-таки убивает босса.
And Bamboo finishing up Dungeon 2, getting a better fight with the genie.
Yeah, that second fight was pretty much how you wanted to go. So that was really
Вот вторая битва прошла примерно так, как он хотел, чтобы она прошла в первый раз.
So, in addition to Bamboo dying there and losing time in that dungeon itself, he's also, his piece of power route is completely different now, because your piece of power count sets to 0 if you die. Or maybe it doesn't set to 0, or
it does reset. I believe, yeah, it sets to 0.
Either way, it's a lot harder to recalculate what you're gonna do there.
I've been watching him do a lot of practice runs on the fly, and I've noticed he tends to be, you know, as like a high-level player, you can adapt. You can learn where to omit kills, where to add kills to accommodate that kind of thing.
And here TGH is getting the piece of power pretty much in exactly the spot you want it to, and he's about to do a very technical super jump to skip the Dodongo fight. You have to charge your sword and not only perform a super jump, but release your spin slash with a very particular timing.
В очень определенный, скажем так, момент вам нужно зарядить свой меч в прыжке в определенный фрейм, отжать и провернуть свой вот этот вот спин слэш, то есть, ну, круговую атаку.
Yeah, for a PB attempt, if you were to soft lock, of course, that's kind of the end of that run in terms of validation. For races, where kind of an unwritten thing, you can save quit out of it, and then, you know, backtrack to where you were when you soft locked.
Speaking of, we have a $50 donation from C. Spicer that says, super excited for this race and have been looking forward to it all week. Best of luck to Bamboo and TGH, and here's hoping for a soft lock free race.
Надеются, да, в донате говорят, надеемся на гонку без софтлоков. Есть моменты, в которых игру можно софтлокнуть, и на этом как бы ран заканчивается, потому что, ну, софтлок — вещь неприятная.
Except a lot fewer eyeballs.
Yeah, only 2 this time.
That was a perfect fight.
That was
very clean.
Потрясающая битва от TGH. Perfect, прям вот идеальная.
Bamboo getting trolled more in the early parts of Dungeon 3 with the first room. You have to kill all the enemies, and they move kind of randomly, or they do move randomly.
And so from what I can tell, Bamboo, he's going a little more out of his way to farm kills here, because he knows where his count's at, and he's going to do everything he can to manipulate it back on track.
The manipto.
The manipto.
The manipto.
And here's a funny thing: if Teach gets this, so that right there is called a bomb trigger. That is a really funny property about this game. If you lay a bomb on a transition, the way the game interprets. Wow. Okay, so Bamboo's back on track. He's got his piece of power right where he needs it to be. That's fantastic. But yeah, so the game freaks
Бамбу
out,
начинает
regarding
догонять
triggers
потихонечку
and,
TGH.
overwrite certain properties in the memory and
Он
just
получил
creates
Pizza
cutscenes,
Power,
arbitrarily.
который поможет ему.
Meaning you don't need certain required items
Поможет
to
ему пройти
utilize
чуть-чуть
these
быстрее.
cutscenes, which skips out a lot of side questing.
And it has a really weird set of things that are set of requirements. So you need to be moving vertically, screen transitioning, and laying a bomb at the same time in order for a bomb trigger to work. We're going to be doing that here.
TGH смог поймать довольно сложный трюк, который называется Bomb Trigger.
And get the ocarina.
Ocarina, and we're just gonna.
Как я понял, нужно в момент того, как меняется экран, триггернуть бомбу в определенный фрейм.
Because LADX.
И это, короче, к чему-то приводит, к чему-то очень хорошему. У TGH это получилось, значит он молодец. У нас Морж, кстати, там, смотрите, Морж.
Oh man.
Большой Морж
Ones and
кивает.
zeros, though.
Yeah, ones and zeros.
Ему норм. Он прям довольный такой.
Oh, yeah, no more.
Прыгает и кивает. Вот.
Also no
И
features.
рипнулся. Или просто улетел в воду, надеемся, что он там жив.
Locked right now, or all of his buttons are locked right now because he's still in the middle of a cutscene technically. So he's gonna enter a cave to get his menu back. Meanwhile, Bamboo is doing Dungeon 3 boss and getting a really good boss too. So
Yeah,
that's
that
pretty
was-
great.
Бамбу тоже прекрасно убивает босса, да, он отстает, но страты,
Also,
скажем
there's a
так, не
tough boss on
запарывает особо.
TGH's screen, Landmo. Takes 2 arrows to kill.
It's dead.
There it
Yeah,
is.
very tough, very tough.
A quick kill. Once again,
TGH
Aaron's totally
уже убил босса с помощью 2
broken. He doesn't wanna
стрел.
fall in this pit, though, so he's
Потрясающе. Мы даже моргнуть не успели, даже босса не увидели, собственно.
You mash the boots button.
You know,
You just hold the button down.
He uses an audio cue to know when to let go in the corner so that he knows he's going to have enough time that he won't fall in the pit.
But I want to know why he need to mash his boots. Like
it's
Siki
an
said.
advanced strat you wouldn't understand.
Ah. What's your PB again?
Let's not talk about it.
And Bamboo actually getting the bomb trigger too, so that's pretty cool. How much time does that save? Like
Подкалывают друг друга ребятки, сидящие на диване, они все играют в эту игру. И
So they
oh,
do.
subpixels.
там
Oh,
шутеечки типа, какой там у тебя личный рекорд, напомни,
We
пожалуйста.
usually just tend to blame anything
А то
that
чё
goes
ты
wrong
фигню
with
несёшь.
subpixels.
Yeah. And for the most part, it's true.
Yeah, actually, like
Coming up is for TGH. He is going to be
He's gonna be doing the thing at the place.
doing the thing at the place.
opening up Dungeon 4.
Yeah,
with
Он говорит,
the,
сейчас мы сделаем определенную штуку в определенном месте.
If he remembers to
Think
open
in a
the
place.
That's true. You
То
don't
есть, видимо,
wanna-
какой-то
you
очень
don't-
трудно
you don't wanna forget
объясняемый
that, especially in a
трюк.
race that may or may not have happened
Then
to
you go back-
everybody, basically.
Yeah. There's a lot of little pitfalls that are.
Носим
kind of
всё
rites
ещё
of
бау-бау
passage in
вот
this
этого
game.
вот.
Everyone will forget it at some point.
О, Моржик.
Oh yeah, since Bamboo's doing the walrus glitch too, walrus skip, it's also fun to note that if you do it incorrectly and you don't line yourself up perfectly, you can soft lock your game.
Суть в том, что Бамбу сейчас делает тот же самый морж-глич, который пытался сделать, который делал TGH. Суть в том, что если его сделать неграмотно, то игра софтлокнется и до свидания. Всего доброго, приходите еще, перезапускайте игру.
Slightly more optimal by frames. It just really depends on what you're comfortable doing.
But I created the first one, so
You did,
that's
so
all
it's-
that
So
matters.
that's obviously the superior.
Oh,
one,
and
of
we
course.
have the most important trick coming up.
Okay.
The most important trick.
Let's
Очень важный трюк нас
Entire
ждет.
on TGH's screen. So keep your eyes glued. Trust me on this. Just
don't
trust
blink.
me.
Следите за TGH, сейчас какой-то очень важный трюк будет.
And there we go. All right.
We got the obstacle skip.
It's one.
Obstacle skip, то
One
есть
of two.
преодоление
One of two.
препятствий.
So
Will he save
Очень
those
хорошо
20
получилось у него,
frames?
прям захайпили.
By getting the second
TGH.
what that is you can jump around the obstacle. It's like a 3-pixel window. If you don't get it, you either fall in the pit or you have to use your boots to break it. LADXers like to hype it up so much because it's a really minor time
It's like
save.
harder than it's even.
Да, я понимаю, что люди, которые видят это впервые, им довольно трудно понять, что вообще происходит, что они делают. Но тут, короче, делают крайне сложные штуки, которые требуют долгого времени тренировок.
So Dungeon 4 here, it's going to be less conventional than the rest of them, and the reason being.
T's just taking a jump in the water
he's-
there.
Немножко TGH неправильно прыгнул.
We're gonna enter this.
В темную зону воды не стоит вставать, ибо там вы рипаетесь.
Flag will set that will trigger a side quest.
На прошлом экране он это сделал для того, чтобы Ну, собственно, пропустить, скажем так, время некоторое.
So all we need is the dungeon edit right now because we just want to swim straight to the next dungeon, and then we're gonna be good for now. Here's the first of 2 times we get to see Cue Ball, the coolest mini boss.
Игра про Зельду, да, ну, типа, так и называется. Поэтому она и так и называется. А играем за Линка, потому что, ну, игра про Зельду. Именно поэтому. Because of reasons.
It's plural at this point, probably. I don't know.
And we get the flipper. That's just one flipper.
Just a single
One
flipper.
flipper.
Мы взяли одну ласту.
Underwater.
Yeah, we've
Мы брали один ботинок, теперь мы взяли одну ласту.
Or two.
Угадайте, что она делает.
We don't know.
So we're just gonna leave the dungeon, as Siki said, and we're gonna go straight to dungeon 5. This is my favorite segment in the entire run because you just walk to dungeon 5.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, a
this
lot of
one.
walking. We're bearing in mind, Bow Wow has been eating things at random this whole time. We can't control it, which does increment the kill count. So sometimes he's
Wait. Obstacle skip.
Nice.
Еще один obstacle skip теперь уже от Bamboo Shadow
This is
тоже.
top level play right here. You
Говорит,
can't,
здесь у
you
нас
can't
You
see
could've
this at
люди
home.
играют на высшем уровне.
Except if either of the
Nope,
runners
nope,
are
nope,
streaming.
nope, nope,
No, okay, nope, cannot
So-
see it at all.
Don't sell the streams here.
Our third and final routed piece of power drop is going to be Dungeon 5. And yeah, both are hoping that Bow Wow doesn't eat too much on the way there because sometimes he really does. He just eats so much that you get an early piece of power drop. TGH looks like he's good for that though.
And the reason why you really don't want to get an early piece of power for Dungeon 5 is that Dungeon 5 has a lot of walking.
That was the Siki kill right there.
It was.
And wow,
That-
that
that-
room going
Wow.
perfectly.
That was exactly how that is supposed to go. Wow.
But there's a lot of walking in Dungeon 5. For example, in Dungeon 2, piece of power saves, I think, 8 seconds overall. And in Dungeon 5, it saves something around
Like
30 seconds.
30 to 35. Yeah.
It's a huge amount of time. It also makes a pretty big sequence break significantly easier later in the dungeon.
And I think this is the easiest dungeon to take damage in as well. So when you learn a piece of power route, you also learn to really just fend for yourself and avoid things like these Henoxes, which are RNG where they point and only vulnerable from one side. So really puts you to the test there in that respect.
Helmosaurs, I think, also.
Real quick, we've got a $500 donation
$500
from
бросил
Baduku.
кто-то.
Says, stayed up late just for this run. Go Tej.
Go Bamboo too. I heart Bamboo. So both players will be fighting the mini boss of this dungeon 4 times. The first and fourth time you fight him, he takes 3 bombs to kill. Second and third times he takes 2. So each fight has its own setup. It looks like this if you do it correctly. So on TGH's screen.
Вам нужно будет несколько раз победить мини-боссов, и каждый из них требует определенное количество ударов, следовательно, сетап для их убийства тоже будет разным. Суть разная, но сетапы... Вернее, суть одна и та же, сетапы разные.
Really, I actually
you
could
could-
not.
It's something like that.
I know.
That's the backup strat.
Yeah, so Bamboo making his way into D5.
And I don't know if you guys saw, I did not see a piece of power drop on the way.
Доходит Бамбу до 5-го данжа.
It's POP
У TGH
now.
все получается прям замечательнейше,
Wow,
великолепнейше.
going perfectly for him as well. Piece of power not dropping here, but it's not too
Бамбу
bad.
немного не повезло в самом начале рана, из-за чего он потерял довольно много времени. Снова отсылочки к Марио. Смотрите, это же Гумба, это же осьминоги из Марио. Референсы.
So
We can
close.
get it first. And
TGH не смог перепрыгнуть яму.
the movement is fast.
Со второго раза смог, все норм.
Oh, and it seems as though Bamboo successfully routed in his POP for D5. I didn't have a doubt in my mind he'd get back on track.
I think he took 2 hits in that room right there.
Yeah, you can see why Helmosaurs are definitely the probably my personal least favorite enemy in this entire game.
Yeah, they really can complicate things if they don't behave.
Мне кажется, это,
TGH
ну, может быть, и
having his
Медуза.
final
Мне всегда
encounter, I
казалось, что
believe,
это
with-
осьминоги.
No, actually, second to last with them. That was
У Медуз глаз нет, а у
pretty much
осьминогов есть.
exactly. He looked up, and because Link was looking up when he did the spin slash, they lined up in that respect. So You did have to backtrack to this area, which we're familiar with, because this is where the final Master Salfos fight is.
And if you come in here right at the beginning of the dungeon, it'll just be an empty room. So that's why we don't...
TGH опять же очень грамотно сетапит босса. Как видели, закидывает бомбу в определенный момент времени, в определенную точку. Потом, когда босс спускается, он его забивает ровно в тот момент, когда бомба взрывается именно на нее. Потом в обратную сторону, и там же бомба, бабах.
Big good luck to Bamboo and Tej. Wing boys.
We can read it off another.
Yeah.
All right. We've got a $300 donation from Doey that says, I always look forward to SGDQ and SGDQ. First time donator, but found out my work does donation matching. Competitive games are great to watch, but I truly appreciate everything GDQ and the runners who keep doing it year after year do to spend their time for a great cause.
So this is the D5 boss, which is, looks like a wall snake. A little RNG involved here, but if you're careful, you can actually manipulate it in the sense that you can...
Я все-таки остаюсь при своем мнении, это осьминоги.
Because he can spawn out of any of these four holes.
Это
And ideally,
осьминоги.
you want to get 2 cycles on this boss.
Вообще нужно
He's going for a
просто
5.
найти это в мануале
You didn't get it, but that doesn't
к Марио
the number of cycles.
и узнать.
One of the hardest positions to hit.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
probably the hardest one.
Yeah, definitely. It's, yeah.
It's still a 3 cycle, really quick 3 cycle.
Mhm.
And he's going to be making his way out of here. Bamboo, not too far behind. You know, he got back on track of the piece of power, so he's been keeping the gap consistent, not really losing any more time.
Yeah, that honestly, I would say, was probably the biggest worry.
Блупер. Его зовут Блупер, это вот эту вот штуку.
The backtracking
Блупер
feature, if he had
это...
gone, POP route, then
Это-
that would have been, like we said, around
Это...
45 seconds that he would have lost just because of that.
Блупер. Тут не написано, кто такой
Getting
Блупер.
back on was really, really good.
Before Dungeon 6, TGH, he's now going to get the Dungeon 6.
Вот на Википедии я смотрю сейчас страничку. Так, Блупер.
Part of the run. He's going to be going through Armos Maze, which is a pretty intense portion of the run.
Блупер.
A lot of
Это...
really
Тут не написано. Блупер его называют, хоть убей.
drop his health pretty quick.
And also, one of the more technical boss kills in the run with the Armos Knight. In older routes, we used to just charge our sword and use feather to jump whenever he would.
A creature who's as squid-like as a squid can be. То есть они squid, то есть они все-таки осьминоги, короче. Вот, они ближе к кальмарам. Вот, это вот из Википедии, значит, короче, вот, да. Кальмары. Кальмары ближе к осьминогам, а не к медузам.
Bamboo coming up on the Dungeon 5 boss. Let's see if he is.
И потом, если у этого кальмара 8 ног, значит он точно осьминог.
And yeah, simultaneously TGH arriving at that.
2 boss fights at the same time. What do
This
we
is
watch?
pretty high octane gameplay.
High
here.
octane.
Yeah. Okay.
TGH getting the bootstraps. Bamboo having a little bit more trouble with the D5 boss.
У Бамбу
Both players got through it.
довольно, ну, чуть-чуть серьезнее прошла битва с боссом пятого данжа.
If you don't get the 2 cycle strat immediately, is then you kind of just have to rely on luck and hope that the wall snake spawns on the side of the room that you are on. And there have been runs of mine where I'll just be walking in a circle around the room and I'll have 6, 7, 8 cycles where he's just on the opposite side of the room and there's nothing you can do about it, really.
Yeah, like Zorlak said, that bottom right pattern, it's like ultimately you can adapt to all of them, but some are just a lot harder to.
Yeah.
And coming up,
That was a sick damage boost.
yeah, that was
So
pretty
sick.
tactical boost there. Shout out to the Zorlax pit coming up here.
Яма Зорлакса. Шатаут to Зорлак
I was
Speed.
hoping someone else in the world would fail that jump.
Зорлакс — это, видимо, один из их друзей, который постоянно фейлится на этой яме, поэтому, типа, шатаутс to Зорлакс.
But TGH used a bomb arrow to the left when he hit that keyhole, and Bow Wow ate it.
Yep.
So Bow Wow is the most overpowered companion in Zelda history. He eats cutscenes.
And they count for piece of power.
They do. They increment the kill count.
Суть в том, что его сейчас назвали Бау-Бау, вот этого вот пёселя, назвали самым сильным напарником в легенде, во всех играх легенды о Зельде, потому что он жрет кат-сцены.
Also pretty long, but a lot of really cool movement tech. And one of the more complicated dungeons, I think, it endured a reroute pretty recently that shaved off maybe 6 to 7 seconds, I think.
And Bamboo entering bootstraps here as well.
Nice.
Very
really
nice.
good.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think he relies on an audio cue there, which is
Хорошо
really impressive.
пройден Bamboo Shadow, босс Bamboo Shadow. Прям ему похлопали даже. Говорит, клапа, братан. Типа, ништяк прям.
They do what they want.
У TGH
Bedroom is usually
беда
a
рандом.
problem, but when it's a problem, oh man, is it a problem.
Сейчас не оказалось большой проблемой, но если это окажется проблемой, о, чувак, это будет большая
TGH
проблема.
used a hookshot right next to a pot or a hookshotable item, so he's invulnerable for this room or until he uses his hookshot again. So that's why those tiles are going through him. Just gives you a chance to chillax, if you will.
Yeah. Relax.
Chillax.
Чилакс. Классное слово они придумали. Чилакс. Типа chill и релакс.
Shout out to the runners, the couch, and Black SR, who's there in spirit. Another big shout out to the rest of the LIDX community. You are all awesome people. And a special message for Bamboo. If you sharpen up and win this race, I will donate again when it's done. Big hugs.
Shoutouts to Chodo.
Yeah, Chodo's a great guy.
Chodo himself is a sharpen up. Yeah, I said it. So TGH is doing some pretty complicated D6 movement. Can someone explain how we're exactly breaking this dungeon?
So right now, TGH is using a series of super jumps to pretty much skip basically all of it. We're skipping 2 different mini bosses. We're going back through this area backwards.
TGH сейчас с помощью серии суперджампов выйдет 2 мини-боссов как минимум.
One unfortunate side effect of the reroute is we reintroduced more randomness.
Horse heads.
Horse heads.
Yay.
So each one
wow,
of those
great.
nice. Each one of those horse heads has, I believe, a 50-50 chance of landing upright. Both of them need to land upright in order for you to...
Собственно, эти головы коней прыгают так, как они хотят. И у них, ну, что-то типа 50% шанса, грубо говоря, 2 паттерна падения. И TGH более-менее повезло еще. После того, как вы их бросаете.
We also have a very difficult boss kill coming here.
Very
It's
technical boss.
Very technical.
Very hard.
So this is Facade. He has a hitbox before he starts talking.
Because, you know...
Бьем лицо на полу, потому что почему бы и нет.
So he takes 5 bombs to kill. You
He's
can
already
do,
done 3.
He's already done 3. So there's 1. And really this fight involves just timing your bombs so that you it explodes as soon as...
Здесь очень грамотно нужно таймить свои бомбы. Это лицо берет, короче, на себя 5 бомб. Суть в том, что вам нужно делать так, чтобы бомбы взорвались ровно в тот момент, когда появляется эта рожа. Чтобы они получили урон как можно быстрее. Что это, он пассатижи взял? Пассатижи как музыкальный инструмент. Трехзубчатые пассатижи. Это типа как... Пассатижи-тижи. И на них играют. Как хотите, короче, понимаете. Это пассатижи. То был осьминог, а это пассатижи. Не ломайте мои детские мечты. Извини, музыкант такой себе. Я на гитаре только играю, и то плохо. Линк собирает бойсбенд, да. Это на самом деле Серж Танкян the Game. Вот видите, короче, головы приземляются как хотят. И их нужно приземлить обе так, чтобы они, короче, смотрели вверх.
that's kind of what we.
И это рандомно.
And interestingly enough, it's the first time in a long time that this game has done every dungeon more or less in order. We're like 1 to 8. That's kind of
Yeah,
a funny
I-
thing.
It's been almost like a decade.
Группу
I
собирает.
started-
System
I
of
started
Zelda.
playing this game in 2018,
Linkles.
And back then, it was already the route it was before.
Yeah.
So TGH is just coming back to Dungeon 4 right now to finish it up. He's gonna do another clink off of an enemy using a super jump to skip a room where you have to jump.
Сейчас бы не уметь на пассатижах играть.
Mhm.
Линкин Парк, да, Линк Бискит. Хорошо, молодцы, ребят, мне нравится. Вот эти панцы прям Линк 182. Хорошо, Линк 182.
Yet another
Ништяк.
vertical boss.
Вот это здорово, вот это хороший форс.
That's worth a clap.
nice.
That was
Actually.
actually really impressive. I think it's a frame perfect spin slash there to get an extra hit right out of the menu instead of using 3 bomb arrows.
Yeah, that boss used to be super inconsequential. You just shoot 3 bomb arrows, but if you want to save the 20 frames or 15 frames or whatever.
Паник
it is,
at
you
the
get
Zelda.
that
And the funny
very
thing
difficult spin slash.
is that this game is loaded with little frame savers, so when you really think about it, these things tend to add up. It's pretty cool.
Link against the machines.
Even like as an example, a subtle thing that the runners have been doing all throughout this run that you might not have noticed is every time they walk into a room where a door
The off link.
they are jumping, and the reason is there's a small amount of lag introduced every single time a door closes, where Link stops moving for a few frames. So by jumping, they are
Нет, не так,
saving
да.
frames
Red Hot Zelda Poppers.
for a room. So
And
Does that help?
yeah, now coming up here, yet again, the trend of this game is that dungeon keys tend to be distributed kind of away from the dungeon that.
Ну, видим, что Бао-Бао действительно, короче, ждет все, что ему под пасть попадется.
Oh, of course, I'm not complaining.
Линка
Game
Лайбасков.
is well designed.
No, it's fantastic. But yeah, so for Dungeon 7, which is up next, this dungeon key is hidden behind a really big pit that otherwise is meant to, in a casual playthrough, you need to raise this flying rooster from the dead and have it send you across the pit. But because of a cool frame-perfect trick with the hook shot, we can actually hop over the pit.
But obstacle skip though.
Oh, okay.
Obstacle
Second
skip.
That was
though.
second
High-
obstacle
yes.
skip.
We're 3 for 3 on obstacle skips. High level play.
Yeah.
High octane play.
Yeah, high octane. But yeah, so we call it Rooster Skip regarding the trick to get the D7 key. It's really infamous. It's kind of like a gatekeeper for the second half of the run. If you miss it, you fall down a mountain and lose about 20 seconds. So let's see.
there is a buffered method that ideally is about 8 seconds slower, but I believe both of these runners are going to be going for unbuffered, which is very difficult.
And Bow Wow can actually get in the way.
Very
That was
nice.
Yeah.
almost
Потрясающая
perfect.
серия прыжков
That
от
was on first try
TGH
and
с
like a
помощью
second
хука.
Bow Wow, you can clink your hook shot against him and prevent the hook shot from actually moving, which can usually do,
Чуть
like,
не упал
instant
микрофон.
falls.
Again, that is double frame perfect. The game runs at 60 frames per second.
Yeah,
So it's
so-
no easy task.
It's insanely precise. And now really pleasant, scenic.
Тогда Зельдалика, не Линкталика.
Yeah,
Зельдалика.
I guess we have some time for some donations.
All right, we've got a $100 donation from Comeback 1 Year that says, thanks for everyone involved in doing this. It's one of the highlights of summer. $25 donations from Cynical Love.
Claw
It
Linkers.
says, had to stay
Claw
up for the whole
Linkers.
Zelda block for my favorite game, Link's Awakening. Good luck, Bamboo and TGH. The Windfish awaits.
Выигрывает господин TGH. Побеждающего в гонке можно в большем количестве случаев узнать по нотке около его ника, то есть музыка идет с его экрана. Ну, довольно сильно отстал Bamboo Shadow, но, типа, это все может измениться на самом деле.
Nice.
Wow.
So Bow Wow
It-
ate the cutscene, so he leaves the screen, comes back,
And it's
and the
open.
tower turned around.
And that's
So-
like a solid 5-second time save.
TGH сохранил еще 5 секунд.
Is
Он прям идет
probably
великолепнейший
the
парень, видно,
most
что
broken
прям
dungeon in
действительно
the game,
топ-левел.
which is saying something, because these dungeons are all very, very broken. But there's
It's
fourth
cool.
obstacle
4 for
skip.
4 for all.
Oh, also
We are
that too,
4
yeah.
for
Еще один
4.
обстакл
That's it
скипа у
right there.
TGH.
So casually in Dungeon 7, you have to take this metal ball around all 4 pillars, knock them all down, bombs are able to just
Победа бамбуца на одного софтлока. Ну, где-то так. Примерно. Я не знаю, какой сейчас курс у софтлока. Ну да, наверное, вот где-то так. 1-1,5 софтлока. Бамбу Шэдоу тоже юзает этот потрясающий скип. И у него получается.
That's fantastic.
That is
In a race with two people, that's actually fairly unlikely, so it's cool to see both of them get that first try.
especially unbuffered.
Необычно видеть то, что в гонке двух человек у обоих прям получается пройти этот скип.
So a little bit about why those pillars are broken. Actually, we gotta talk about Goomba surfing.
Yeah, Goomba surfing
There's
here.
another
Goomba
broken
surfing.
thing.
Another
We
crazy little.
So these Goombas, the top one needs to move to the right, so Teach can do a super jump, landing on it and jumping over to the ledge over there. Not getting very good RNG here.
Это еще можно к сериалам припилить, типа «Как я встретил вашу Зельду».
Like that.
Nice. Okay, cool. That still ended up saving time over the alternate strat.
But yeah, so the reason, a reason why that works, the bomb triggers on the pillars. The game is kind of like you're dropping two bombs, you're placing two bombs on the screen at the same time. So either by screen transition or by mashing bombs into a pit. And when you do that, the game kind of freaks out and it says, I can't have two bombs here, so I need to just like do everything. So it explodes the bomb and it plays out the cutscene in that case.
Зельдины
The
точки.
in that case were the pillars. So that's kind of what's going on.
and
Что вы делаете-то?
There too, and
TGH got a very nice quick kill on.
Все ненавидят Зельду.
So we used to, back with the old order, we used to go to Dungeon 8 before Dungeon 7, so that we could get the magic rod, fire rod,
The fire rod.
yeah.
and we would use that to quick kill the boss. But it was discovered after the reroute that you can just kill him with 3 bombs, and that also works.
Не так давно была найдена страта, при которой можно убить этого босса
Notice that,
за 3 бомбы всего при перепробеге.
bomb triggers. It's really subjective. A lot of these strats will tend to vary by fractions of seconds. So luckily, it tends to be up to preference.
Лучше позвоните Линку.
And also, just a fun little fact about menuing in this game. The menu slots aren't preset like a lot of other Zelda games. So when you place it in one slot, you could just move it anywhere. And that causes menu routing, which is really important because you don't want to get lost in your menu. You end up spending, up to like 4 or 5 minutes in the menu alone. So you want to minimize that. And every runner does it a little differently. So it's kind of like a fingerprint.
Also, Marin is in trouble here. Too bad, she's never getting saved.
Yeah, that cutscene's about 40 seconds, so we're not going to watch that.
Тут не спасают одну подружечку. Мол, к сожалению, она никогда не будет спасена, потому что эта катсцена идет слишком долго, 20 секунд. Мы это скипаем.
Combinations that each runner has to remember for their menuing route. Bamboo going for the Goomba
Nice.
surf.
Гумба скуп. Гумба скип у
So you
Бамбу
can
Шэдоу
get stuck
получается.
there, but if you use boots and you're close enough, if you're within 1 or 2 pixels from the edge, then you will just be able to get unstuck using the boots.
Shoutouts to this tunnel here. With
Мне
the
кажется, TGH вполне может пойти на VR,
Very
потому
difficult
что
trick.
прям у
I
него
heard it, killed,
потрясающий
another
ран
idol
идет.
at a GDQ event recently.
Oh, that actually
Shoutouts.
ended up.
Shoutouts to POP.
That was actually ended up being a little suboptimal because it forces you to do some menuing to avoid text.
But I think it would guarantee this bomb trigger here.
Yeah, it gives you the automatic good subpixel there too, so that's kind of a funny.
Он мог не использовать этот пауэрап, но потому что он отнимает немного времени, но он сделал это настолько идеально, что ему это, возможно, не помешает.
No big whoop. If you do a bomb trigger there, causes that cutscene to play out. Interestingly, that boss, if you do that bomb trigger there, it has 1 HP. So you could actually kill it really easily. Otherwise, it has like 8 HP if you do the game normally.
Yeah. This is another dungeon that has
Клавишные приобрел Линк слева. Решил нормально. Теперь я еще и буду клавиши тыкать.
I don't know
Got
why.
him.
Random spawn.
cool trick there also, if you drop a bomb and then within a frame or two of dropping that bomb,
7 frames.
7.
we
We
discussed this.
covered this earlier.
Он
Actually,
говорит,
no,
типа,
7 frames.
пытается объяснить, мол,
It's actually the hardest trick.
через через 2 или 3 фрейма ему подсказывают в один голос 7. 7 фреймов. Вот такие вот профессионалы сидят там на диване, пытаются учить чему-то, а сами не помнят, сколько фреймов нужно. Кошмарище, короче, полный. Я напомню, что фрейм это, ну, в зависимости от того, в каком фреймрейте идет игра, то есть, например, игра идет в фреймрейте 60 кадров в секунду, то один фрейм это 1/60 секунды. Поэтому, чтобы вы понимали, что такое frame perfect трюки, если игра идет в 30 кадрах в секунду, то это 1/30 секунды. В общем, это довольно сложно и требует тренировок.
We've got a $250 donation from Zwanzor that says, it's my brother-in-law's birthday in a couple days. What does he want? Donate some money to a good cause. Well, Jonas, this one's for you. P.S. I heard blue tunic is the best tunic because it protects you against flames.
Speaking of, here we go.
Speaking of,
Yet again,
very
never
nice.
forget the
Deathless this round.
deathless.
They both
How
died
about
to the
that,
shopkeeper.
Drug?
What are you talking
I'm
about?
talking about Deathless to Flames.
Типа вот прям настолько frame perfect. Вот так это и работает, да. Чтобы вы понимали, почему frame perfect трюки на самом деле действительно такие жесткие. Действительно, если это действительно frame perfect трюк, который выполняется в 1 фрейм, то он действительно выполняется в 1/60 секунды. То есть вы должны осознавать, насколько быстро происходят манипуляции с геймпадом у господина игрока, раннера. У TGH взял сундук, и он взял его по своей страте. У Bamboo Shadow своя страта, то есть здесь мы увидим что-то разное. Но Bamboo Shadow отстает уже, наверное, минутки на 2. Довольно сильно, действительно, хапнул горя. TGH снова делает что-то невероятное, убивает босса в 1 цикл.
You couldn't have asked for a better fight. Bamboo not too far behind. He's going to be picking up the fire rod here in 1 second.
Also, most important graphical glitch in the game on TGH's side.
Очень важный глич. Это был мем. У Линка торчал донг между ног. И он его экспандил. Ну и мы берем барабан. Агман, держи себя в руках.
Got a $50 donation from a little bossa that says, I'm going to be super tired at work tomorrow, but it's worth it to watch my favorite speedrunner destroy this game live. Good luck, TGH. We've got a $25 donation from Turtle212 that says, don't give up, Bamboo.
Не знаю, TGH сможет на VR или нет, но ран у него крайне солидный. Я вообще не замечал за ним больших ошибок.
We heard you last year. People on YouTube, people on Twitch, we will not talk during the Ballad of the Windfish. We will zip it.
Ну и, собственно, Boys Band собран. Первое выступление вживую.
$200 anonymous donation that says greetings from Germany.
Потрясающее музло играет.
As every year I miss the best games as I have to work. But I had to donate during my favorite Zelda game. Keep up the good spirit and kill the animals.
Смотрите, там колокольчик, труба, ксилофон, арфа, скрипка, клавишные, пассатижи. И все это играет одновременно.
So now that cutscene is over, we have a lot to explain really quickly because there.
Да, это не плоскогубцы, потому что пассатижи это не плоскогубцы.
All right. Well, starting off, we have the maze in the Windfish's egg. Usually you have to read a book.
Соло на пассатиже. Вспоминаю эту старую софтину соло на клавиатуре.
Right, up, left, up. By default. So we are going to be doing that. You skip a 5-second cutscene using a bomb trigger coming into this fight.
Yeah, so he's going to be mashing the bomb button here.
Это, возможно, в новый раунд все-таки не выйдет.
Nice, you got it.
And then attempting to kill the blob by standing on a particular pixel and swinging his sword on a particular frame.
Yeah, this is-
Oh, it's like a 20-frame window.
It's a little
Well,
RNG,
yeah.
but so you see there.
20-фреймовое окошко, и нам нужно стоять в одном пикселе
Not that much bad. He's actually
определенном.
does damage to the blob here, so it's not that bad. Should only need to, yeah.
And here comes Aghanim.
Also, there's no music in this if you do the bomb trigger in the beginning of the fight.
Kind of makes it spookier.
И появляется колдун Аганим.
So this,
Я открываю ящик Пандоры. Но да, Аганим — это имя колдуна, как ни странно, ребятушки.
because the first 2 round balls are guaranteed, and then there's a 50-50 chance of blue balls after that, but there is no maximum to the number of blue balls you can get. So I believe
Yeah.
world record is about like 16 or so, and it's
Немножечко он.
every single time you get one.
So,
So Teach
yeah,
got
that's-
one.
Ой-ой-ой, TJ, кажется,
Each one
промахнулся.
has Aghanim.
Ну ничего.
Each one costs 8 seconds. That's
That's
2.
2.
Again, this is part of the reason why nothing is decided until the final boss is dead.
Exactly.
Yeah, this thing can
exactly.
sometimes take.
A very long time. And
Очень
this
долго
is the
убиваемый
reason
босс.
why you commonly see those spikes on your graph and PB attempts.
We're going 4. What do you, bets?
I'm gonna say
32
6.
seconds.
Darn.
All right.
So
And
he's going to
Mold Arm
stun
quick
lock in
kill
the
here.
mold arm here.
Yeah, it takes a 15 health to do this.
Hashtag right hand mash.
Yeah.
And then he's just going
Лютый
to
мэш.
dash into Ganon here.
Хэштег мэш правой рукой.
12.
12.
This part's really straightforward.
Yeah.
The slash is like really powerful with the dash, so
In the most
And-
important form, Landmo.
yeah, easily the hardest one.
Oh,
You blink and you miss it.
He's going
Interesting
fire
fire
rod.
rod strats,
He's
alright.
going fire rod.
So Deathwell also really RNG. This can fluctuate by a lot.
Немножко затупил в менюшечке
yeah,
сейчас
no blue
TGH.
bomb. Certain
Порофлили
directions
над ним
you
его
can Or
друзьяшки.
use bombs if you're comfortable doing that instead. But,
Takes 16 arrows to kill. You can get 4 arrows per cycle. Death will just blinking.
That is
Wow.
wow. This is really good. Deathwell. One more and he's done.
This is insane.
what? That is
All 4
actually
quads.
perfect
All
RNG.
4
That
quads.
was-
That's
Wow.
that's how
Nice.
you do it.
У TJ еще получилось великолепнейше убить босса.
When the fade out to white.
Yeah,
is
so
gonna be
Teach is
the-
going to enter the stairs, and after he walks off screen and the screen fades to white, it'll be time.
And,
So that's going to be time
that's the Teach.
now.
Time.
54-34. Очень
And
хорошее
so,
время,
Bamboo
очень
looks
хорошее
like
время.
he's similarly,
А рекорда, к сожалению, не будет,
had
но
to power
опять же
to
напомню вам, что
this is kind of
суть
what
этого
we're
марафона
doing.
не в том, чтобы ставить рекорды, а в том, чтобы показывать красивый спидран.
So again, the first 2 are guaranteed.
Он буквально на минуту, на 2 минуты отстал от ВР.
Doing his own thing. Go through the cutscene. Go through the cutscene. Come on, man.
Everyone wants to
It's
see
a
the
nice
credits.
cutscene.
It is a nice cutscene.
So let's see here. So that's one blue ball already with Bamboo.
Смотрим, как бамбу добивает босса.
And there's 2.
Nothing you can do about this. It's just RNG.
Exactly.
Особо тут ничего не поделаешь, тут только RNG.
Needs one more hit.
I think this is 4 as well so far.
Classic Aghanim.
Yeah, that's
Classic.
just how it goes. Nice.
And then
Okay,
we go.
similar RNG there.
Then he's going to go for the stun lock on Moldorm by doing a spin slash on a specific time. Getting it,
Very
and
nice.
slash his
Nice.
sword. I never counted. I just kind of always slashed it.
I-
so
yeah, you
felt
just
good.
kinda-
Just kind of zone out for a
Exactly.
bit.
Like, yeah.
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 Yeah, just to be safe.
Teach said that he normally goes for 30. So slash is when you need 16.
Yeah.
And then we have Deathel.
Yeah, let's see how. that
Bamboo
one
not
goes.
going for fire rod strats like Teach.
Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting to see how that
Он
went.
говорит, типа, бамбу не использовал эту страту с выбиранием неправильного оружия, как это
Yeah,
сделал
nothing you can do, you just
TGH.
gotta- You're at his mercy. And
Sometimes you could get no blue balls and then he just won't open his eye, and it's.
the timing for getting all 4 arrows is very specific. So Bamboo was only able to get 3. He just mistimed 1. And he had a jump in the middle of that, so that also makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what are we
managing
at?
2 inputs at once
9,
is a pain.
10 arrows or so far.
Yeah, I think just 9. Sometimes when you're low on arrows, you actually want to play it safe.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, that's it for him as
definitely-
well. So that was fantastic.
Nice.
And yeah, similarly, white screen.
Time.
And time. Wow, fantastic.
Oh, the camaraderie.
The camaraderie.
Unfortunately, both the runners are not mic'd, so we can't really get them to say their shout-outs. But I'm sure they
well,
could
we
mic
could
him
we
up.
could give them
Actually-
our mics right now.
Well,
so
is that okay?
is that all right with the tech crew?
You
Do
get-
they
they're in their own world. But I'll give them shout-outs. So shout-outs to both TGH and Bamboo for giving us an excellent race. Some things happened, but still LADX is a difficult game. But they both pulled off some good runs. First try rooster skip, both of them.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
really
Really
good
good.
fights.
Very, very good.
All 4 obstacle skips.
Yeah. Shout outs to the LADX community. If you want to pick up this game, there's an LADX Discord you can find on the speedrun.com/LADX. Very friendly people. I'm not there, so you don't have to deal with me.
Yeah, don't worry about this guy.
And we actually do have a tournament for this category that's going to be coming up in, I believe, September.
September.
So if you are interested in picking up the game, there's still another couple of months to learn the route and enter that tournament. So
Даже проходит турнир по раутингу, по спидранингу этой игры, и через пару месяцев он будет. У вас есть время выучить, собственно, раутинг и присоединиться к этому турниру.
Also, shoutouts to that amazing flying space whale in the credits. Great race by some great runners. Let's read off a couple more donations. Got a $100 donation from Linrock EXE that says, "Love these Zelda speedruns. Seeing Link's Awakening DX brings back good childhood memories. I wish the runners good luck with the race, and please save the animals, or at least the windfish." Got a $30 donation from Dane Jaha that says, "Always looking forward to the 2 weeks a year I can get to watch experts break games. Keep it up." Alrighty, we're gonna run a quick ad break here.
Rated E for everyone.
Yo, Earl, we made it back to Earth.
And it only took 26 years. Not bad.
First thing we need to do is get some new pages. Mine must be broke, because I haven't gotten a page since 1991.
I just hope people recognize us now that we're all high def and whatnot.
Earl, I'm red with 3 legs, you're orange and huge, we're aliens, and we're mad funky. People gonna recognize us. Toe Jam and Earl, back in the groove. It's an all-new adventure game from 1991, coming in 2017 to PC and console from Adult Swim Game.
GDQ is also sponsored by Super Meat Boy, which I'm personally looking forward to. Super Meat Boy Forever specifically. Coming in at 2018 for Steam consoles and mobile devices. You can follow them